Voice of Africa, where they show. Now where we go there. Gather your family, call everybody. Oh. Prison what don't want to go. Let's talk our talk. Africa voice in diaspora. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Make we talk our talk, yo. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinedu TV. Now they happen, no. Now they selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even know the YouTube. Subscribe and follow Chinedu TV. Eba fukona potuno, eba fukona man. Now we'll be the voice of Africa in diaspora. Voice of Africa, where they show. Now where we go there. Gather your family, call everybody. Oh. Prison what don't want to go.
Yes, so my people, how are you doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us from. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO. And this is Chinedu Anichi TV, streaming live from St. Louis, Missouri, United States of America, the African voice in diaspora. How are you doing, my people? Happy Sunday. I don't know, some people are already getting into the next day, but today we'll be having a night rant, let me say, just because of something that came up very importantly. So, and you know, our usual way, we'll have to be coming to you now back to back with what is trending and what an issue is, especially in Africa and globally anyway, but more particularly in Africa. So, today, this night, we'll be talking about the 78 million naira recovered from VDM NGO missing, the missing 180 million naira that was missing from the NGO of the very dark black man. 78 million have been allegedly recovered from those who diverted the fund. And it's a good news for VDM and all the Ratel. So this night we'll be talking about it, and we want to invite you if you have something to say. I wanted to invite a guest today, but maybe tomorrow we'll have, I might have in the show tomorrow the cybersecurity expert who is going to explain to us, because some of the stories you might be hearing is, if you're not a professional, you will not understand it. So, because they will be talking about cyber this, cyber attack, cyber pressure, cyber this, cyber that. But those of you, or those of us who are not yet cyber security professionals, will not understand the language. So, this night we'll be revealing to you what really is going on with that particular findings. And according to VDM himself, you people know that few months ago, an NGO was launched. VDM is one of the, what will I say, one of the activists, I say activists, human rights activists in Nigeria, who has volunteered himself to, you know, recover funds, do a lot of things for people who might not have access. According to the people, he is the voice of the voiceless when you cannot speak, he can speak for you. And there are several occasions that really prove that he can speak for somebody who cannot speak for himself. So, and a few months ago, he came up with an NGO to be able to help children in Africa, especially in Nigeria, build schools for them, make their school environment comfortable or conducive for learning. And he came up with the idea of an NGO, and a lot of people donated. The donation that was like overwhelming and mind-blowing was the one that Don Jazzy did. Don Jazzy did 100 million naira donation to that particular NGO. So a lot of people donated. Some people donated even 5 naira and all that. So the money, according to VDM, was generated from different corner of Nigeria, and that was show of Nigeria's patriotism and Nigeria's affiliation with his idea of activism. So it's a demonstration that he was really speaking for the people and the masses. So, but recently, a few days, there were reports that this fund, 180 million naira fund, some part of the report said 160, some said 180 million, but 160 moved. I don't know, but what we know is that fund was moved from this NGO to personal accounts or the different accounts by scammers who attacked the NGO's website. And people have been saying a lot of things. I don't want to call out somebody. Some people said he's this, he's that, inherited this and that, he's this, and that's the way he was brought up. A lot of people, a lot of bloggers, some people came up with the idea that it's a scam. No, some people said it's a prank, that he just want to know how Nigerians feel. Yes, they want to know how Nigerians feel over whether they trust him or not. So let me say, those of you on Instagram, if you are still there, if you want to contribute, we are here. VDM, let me just put up something for you so you to know the topic. 78 million recovered from missing, from VDM missing from VDM's NGO missing fund. Yeah, so that's our discussion today. 78 million recovered already, and that's where we are today, and that's what we want to discuss tonight. So 78 million, and if you are here and you want to contribute, those of you, I don't know where you're watching, but just keep doing what you're doing. Chukwuemeka Bertrand, please, more of your reaction, more of typing, more of acting, and thank you for what you are doing, Chukwuemeka. So I want to tell you that we have already we don't want to talk just because people are talking. We have been trying to bring VDM to this show, but it has proved abortive, but we're able to lay on some of his social media broadcasts today. And let me see. I want you people to hear from VDM himself. Let me introduce this properly. So, we want to present to you people today, as you listen to this show, we want to present to you that 78 million naira have been recovered from the VDM's NGO's missing fund. Yes, a few months ago, VDM came up with an idea of having an NGO to encourage and create conducive atmosphere for Nigerian kids, especially in vulnerable areas, to be able to have education, proper education, and make the environment conducive for them to study. So he came up, and people like Don Jazzy donated 100 million naira and some other people, they donated from, even some people donated 500 naira from different parts of Nigeria. But a few days ago, VDM himself revealed that this website of this particular NGO was under attack by, was suffering a cyber risk, and eventually the fund amounting to 118 million naira was diverted, and is missing. So we had stories about, we are working on it. We are already arrested some people, yes, and they are on their way to Jos. And I have not heard from him again except this night, and he spoke about their latest, what they'll be able to do. So let me bring what VDM said. Let me bring VDM, and you hear from the horse's mouth.
All right, so first of all, I really want to say thank you to all the people that have called to reach out to me since this thing happened. Even some people that I did not think would call to check up, they've called to check up. So I really want to say thank you. And also, I want to thank God for the progress so far. We have been able to recover 78 million, even though the suspect pointed that the person that I did it with has run to Ghana. So hopefully we'll be going to Ghana very soon. And when they did an analysis on the website, this is what we found. Top threat countries and region, because there have been threats from different places that we did not even notice. So these are countries and region. The total amount of threats on the NVOI website was 614. 614 from the US, Nigeria 58, Moldova 4, Singapore 3, and Israel 3. This is the chart of everything, and also this is the full analysis and the key findings. So cyber attack reports on NVOI. Since launching the NVOI website, we have identified 682 cyber attacks, targeting its functionality and security. Below are the key insights from our analysis and action taken to ensure your safety. Key findings: highest attack activities. The most intense attack occurred on December 17th, with 590 attempts originating from an IP address in the United States, potentially marked by a VPN. Other attacking locations, IP involved in the attacks were also traced to Israel, Nigeria, Singapore, and Moldova. Attack objective: disrupting the service, attempting to cause chaos or dissatisfaction by undermining the website functionally. Number 2, unauthorized access to financial data, trying to exploit vulnerabilities to access sensitive banking credentials and redirect funds. Number 3, denial to service, overloading server resources to disrupt access to the site. So where they were sending viruses to disrupt everything. So these are the analysis so far. So I guess one of them it was one of them that worked. But 78 million naira have been recovered, and the team and I will be going to Ghana to follow the lead. Now, this wasn't just a straight attack. It was I don't know how to even put it. I would say it's part of an inside job, because it's somebody from within the team that pointed out these people, and I don't know, but hopefully we'll get to expose the people behind everything. So far, I haven't even been able to sleep since for like 2 days. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and thank you all that have called me. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, you have heard from VDM himself, and that is it. So I don't want it to appear as if I was the one talking, and that's why I decided to bring him live on this show, his video, right? So this is what is happening right now in Nigeria. So this is the latest information when it concerning the missing fund. Yeah, so a lot of people are on this show already, especially, if you have watched my video, the video that I dropped today was wonderful. I was telling you people about how a total stranger became a mom in the United States, and it was very emotional for me, and I decided to put down the video, a video of close to 9 minutes. So go to my Facebook and watch that video. And I think Lisa K. Hopper is here. Let me see if I can bring her to the show, because what she expressed now, I said, listen to this with a heavy heart. Let me see if I can bring her to the show so that she can say one or two things about this. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's talk our talk. Africa boys in diaspora. Chinebani TV. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Chinebani TV. Make we talk our talk, yo. Chinebani TV. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Chinebani TV. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinedani TV. Now they happen, no. Now they selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even know the YouTube. Subscribe and follow Chinedani TV. Eba fukona potunu, eba fukona me. I will be the voice of Africa in diaspora. TV. Voice of Africa.
Yes, I've sent her a link on join us and follow us. So if you want to join us and have something. Yes, so my people, you have heard. So when people handsomely donated millions of naira for NGO, for our kids, for our kids to have a conducive environment for them to study. And some people somewhere, you understand, some people somewhere, their own concern was how would they divert this particular fund to go and do nothing more than dorime. There's nothing more than dorime. All that they will do when they get this money is just buy some good Mercedes car, flashy cars, and do one-on-one, go to exclusive hotels, carry women about, drink the costless champagnes and all that. So, but this is serious. So, I want to see your reactions to this from the comment section. For those of you on Instagram, what are your reactions to this? And those on YouTube, and those of you on X, I don't know where you're watching from, but this is the latest news. You have heard directly from VDM that at least. So let's start with some people. Some bloggers came up and said this is a prank. Wow. That this is a prank. How can people be prank? Somebody be pranking people with 180 million naira. Like, which kind of prank? So, and some other people came and say, he must present the money that has already started buying Mercedes, and even though Coco P, the closest friend to VDM, came up and tried to say, he came up and said that those things they said he bought is not true, like the Mercedes and all that. Nigerians know how to talk people down. So instead of concentrating on the report and see how we can encourage investigation to recover this money, people already started attacking him. Some started calling him names. So what is your position? What do you feel? On this night rant, we want to discuss. Let me hear from you. Chukwuemeka Batran, thank you for reacting. Said, the good God, this amazing page, and our boss Chinedu Aniche, thank you. Let's engage here. Thank you, African Voice. Thank you, I've heard you. Okay. So if you're here and you want to contribute to what we're saying, the Donch Matex, Jan Jalad, the Truth 8989, Frank Lakebike, Real Estate Timo, all of you on Instagram. Thank you for watching. And somebody's here already. Wow, mommy is here already. Wow. So
Are
let
you
me
able
bring,
to hear me right now?
yeah, I'm putting it with you now.
Oh, I'm
Let
so
me,
sorry. Nobody at home realizes that we're live and we're having supper and the girls are done and they're playing games with Jimmy. So I didn't realize when I logged in here I'd be live.
so mommy, will I give you some time to log him back?
I'll go in the other room so that I can listen. Okay.
Okay.
I hate to take away from what you're talking about because this is important.
Yes.
And
Okay. So what we're saying is that you can see handsomely 180 million were donated to an NGO, and eventually a few days ago, we found out that there was a cyber attack on the website of the NGO, and this money was moved out of the NGO, you know. But by God's grace, the police and a lot of people are being on their toe trying to recover the fund. There's this activist called VDM in Nigeria. So he has been doing a lot of things for people as the voice of the voiceless. But at a time, he came up with NGOs to create a conducive atmosphere for our kids to study. So people were donating money from all parts of Nigeria, from all walks of life. And when they eventually came up with 180 million recently, there was a cyber attack on the website and the money was moved. But the good news is that yesterday night, so 78 million naira have been recovered. And one of the fraudsters is, according to allegedly, is in Ghana. So they will be moving to Ghana any moment from now to see if more funds can be recovered.
so I'm familiar with some of the NGO process in Ghana, and it breaks my heart to hear this happening to our people because, you know, these children and disadvantaged people need the opportunities that this money provides, and it's greed that is causing this. And do they believe that the person in Ghana is Ghanaian or Nigerian and fled to Ghana?
Yeah, the nationality of the person has not yet been revealed.
I mean, it may be neither.
Yeah. You know, sometimes this concealment is for security advantage, for security reasons. The nationality of the person has not been revealed. But what we know is that there is somebody in Ghana now that is involved in the very illicit process. So, mommy, entirely, what is your view about this kind of issue? Because I know you have daughters and sons and everybody in Africa.
You know, I feel that the African people have to hit hard back at the people who use cyber opportunities, who use something that can be used for good in such a malicious way. You have to hit back hard and quick. And I believe that we have a lot of young people that, if given the opportunity at education, can become very internet savvy and can be encouraged to be a part of monitoring the cyber system. And maybe we need to also look at the people that are being involved in these criminal activities and try to find them before they become a true criminal and use them to gain a sense of pride for doing something good for their country to help protect the monies that are transferred all over the world by the internet. I know I send money, to support my people that I have chosen to be my family throughout Africa. And it is not easy as a white person for me to just send money because they automatically think I'm being scammed. Um, Different companies like Western Union, Boss, um, Sendwave, World Remit. I have been stopped multiple times and had to call and do an interview with someone to assure them that I have traveled, that I know these people, I consider these to be my kids. And, it's frustrating that criminal activity has caused people to have so much issue with trying to be able to financially support the people who need it. But the
Yeah, yeah.
NGOs are so important. That right there is a platform that reaches so many people, so many more than what I can do as one person. And it takes away from so many more. So I feel like you have to hit hard.
Okay, mommy. What as at this particular point now that a young man was able to come up with this, the young man called VDM. So now he must be going through a sort of trauma for making this effort, generating this fund, and somebody somewhere just decided to divert it because he has access to internet crime. So what's your message to this kind of person? Because such kind of thing can be disheartening and discourage him from doing better.
Well, my first thing to that young man would be a word of encouragement. God knows what was upon your heart when you chose to give, and do not allow someone else who steals from the poor, the weak, the infirmed, destroy the blessing that you created through God's help by sharing your funds with other people. Now, what he tried to do was he tried to take the blessing that you were going to receive from God. But in all reality, this money being recovered, even if it's only half recovered right now, and the effect this is going to have to other people to show them that there is support out there. People need to give from their hearts. This is a holiday season. It's easier to give during the holiday season, maybe, than it is during other times when you can see that there are people who need it more than what you do. I just want to encourage him that do not feel like your blessing was stolen. Okay. God will continue to bless you because of what you did, and don't give up. God bless you for having the heart to do what you did financially, and shame on the people, the individuals, the group, however they're organized, who choose to do this kind of thing. And, they're only going to reap their reward here on this earth. They're not going to have heavenly rewards from behaving in this way. And it breaks my heart.
Yeah, yeah. I think the where the guy feels down is not even about the money, about that, but he has integrity. He has tried to build integrity in the society, and what happened immediately after he announced that the website was under attack and some funds missing? A lot of bloggers, a lot of people in the society, especially Nigerians, started attacking that he has stolen the money, he has embezzled the money, and he should give account of it and all that. And all that. So if somebody's so he was so much disappointed in people. So what could be your word of encouragement to him on that side?
Well, as far as that goes, he knows where his heart was, and God knows where his heart was. And we have to be very cautious about being the first person to point our finger at someone else and throw that kind of doubt upon someone's character. In scripture, it talks about pointing at somebody else's thorn in their eye. when indeed you have a log in your eye. And we need to be very careful about just assuming and starting gossip, because that is exactly what it is when we start chatting amongst ourselves about something that we truly know nothing about. Um, he just needs to realize that the truth will come out, and he needs to not let the words of these other people determine his self-worth or value. He is very important in the organization and job that he is doing as far as managing these funds.
Okay. Yeah, thank you, Mommy. I think on this side, being just like you said, a Westerner, a white woman who has interest, you have been doing a lot of things in Africa, trying to help out education-wise, and just because of some respect for some personalities, and we don't want to display. We have a lot of things we're doing, but we don't have permission to display people on this show. I would have shown a lot of things you're doing in Africa, but being somebody who is pro-Africa, trying to support the people that are not the vulnerable, education-wise and even financial-wise, the poor people in Africa. With this kind of news, does it? What do you think is the impact on people like you who are not Africans?
I don't really want to say anything negative, but it does not set a good example for people who already maybe have prejudices, and those prejudices can include racism, when they see African people hurting their own people. And honestly, you can take race out of it, because all over the world, people hurt people. People steal from people. And, you know, it's terrible that as human beings, we resort to that. You know, if someone's hungry and is stealing in order to feed their children, that's one thing. That's out of desperation. But when we're talking about the amount of money that this was and how they did it, this was just pure greed. And I'm afraid that it really gives African people, whether they're from West Africa, East Africa, North or South, a bad name. And, you know, people of color do not need a bad name, not in today's society. It doesn't matter if you're of Asian descent and you're of color, or if you're of African descent and you're of color. We do not need to have people already assuming the worst just because they've heard about the bad things going on in other places. So, you know, I will say again, it breaks my heart, because even the children that I am supporting and helping and going to visit, you know, they're harmed by their own parents, by their own people, by their own, not everybody is Christian, you know, that I support. So it could be by their own church, by their own religious denomination. And, you know, it's terrible. But people of color do not need to be setting that kind of an example for the rest of the world. All it does is, especially when you get here to the US, it will confirm in a white man's mind that, see, they're just like we grew up thinking they were. And I hate that that is what happens. But well, I will let you go. I am so sorry I interrupted your stream. I know you've got someone on there that's much more knowledgeable than myself.
Yeah, no, thank you, Mom. But I want you to say one thing, because from the point you're coming from, they are still the good people. They said instead of the whole world being in darkness, Saint Rita, somebody can light a candle. Despite these fraudulent people exist in Africa, a few number of them that are giving us bad name. There are still NGOs, there are still good people that if you send money to them, they will use it for the purpose of which you
Yes.
send money to them. So on this
Yeah.
side, I want to say, because you are a real ambassador of those who have a soft spot for African kids that are vulnerable. So I want you to speak on that side, because it is not just, few people can paint African people black, but that doesn't mean there are still very sincere people in Africa that if you send money to them, they will use it for the purpose why it was
Yeah.
sent. So what will you say about that?
So, some of my experience in Sierra Leone is with the um, Magi School of the Blind. And at Christmas time, um, the children had been released to go home to visit with their families because they board there. And they were called back to come back to the school to stay for a few more days because there were people within the community who had decided for Christmas to give to those less fortunate, and the children needed to be back there at the school to be able to participate and enjoy the Christmas parties and celebrations that other people were having specifically for them. And some of these children, because they come from situations where they are blind, and blindness or other deformities or disabilities, are those individuals are sometimes treated very poorly because of what I will call superstitious beliefs that happen amongst different ethnicities throughout Africa. I'm sure it happens everywhere. Um, but I was so excited to hear that my little girl, Favor, got to go back to school to participate and enjoy some of the donations that had been given. And um, I just want to encourage other people, giving is something that can be done all year long. You don't have to give a large amount to any particular relief society, NGO, or an organization that does something. But if you can give a little something regularly, whether it be give up your fancy coffee, one of your dining out nights that you do, or choose not to buy a designer bag, this week, but do a little something for someone else. The joy that you can receive from getting the payback in watching someone smile, in knowing that their education is going to be continued, to know that they might have more than rice to eat for supper, can be so beneficial. Even to know that soap, deodorant, toothpaste, toothbrushes are going to be available, the things that so many of us take for granted and just assume everyone else has. You know, it's important to give. Even here in the US, when Dad and I are somewhere, sometimes it just hits us. And it's not us, it's God giving an opening to cross someone else's path. We may pay for someone's meal. We may, Dad may just reach in his wallet and hand them what he's got left in his wallet. And somebody will be like, "Oh, I don't have any way to pay you back for this." And we're like, "Nope, that is not what this is about. This is about, this is what your need is. It's upon our heart to help fulfill your need, and you will pay it forward when you have the opportunity to do so." And so, as humanity, while we have the opportunity to give to these groups, or support an NGO, we need to do that, because one day it could be our child or our grandchild or ourselves that have a need. and might be benefiting from something like this. And, you know, payback is, I don't know, the words pay it forward. I don't know if that's translatable in everyone's dialect and everyone's language, but the other thing that I like to say is, nope, I can do this because Jesus loves me, so I can love you, and just take this as love from me to you. And um, love is in almost every culture, every language. It is something that we all need as human beings, and that money and support of an NGO to help different groups is a form of love. And it can just be that simple. I need to support this, even if it's only $10 a month. That's $120 a year, and in these countries, $120 a year can do a lot. you know One of the children that we have in our home, her understanding of the US dollar compared to the Sierra Leone, I guess the Leone is what it's called, um, is difficult for her to comprehend. She understands the Dollar Tree. Everything at that store is $1.25. But when we get to things bigger than that, she can't comprehend, what kind of money we're talking about. But when I explained to her that what I paid the hairstylist to prepare her hair that will last her for 3 months was half of her mother's rent for a year in her country, then all of a sudden her eyes got big. She could comprehend that what she had done as far as her hair, and she wasn't being a greedy child. This was something she needed to have done. She had not had her hair done for a while, and I needed to take care of that. But when I explained to her what that money meant, she understood. And this happens all throughout Africa, the difference in economy. And it's one of the reasons why the US looks so good to people when they come here, because they feel like there's money. Well, there's also lots of bills, and it's crazy to pay for hair like that. But it's one of those things that there's a give and take. And I'm kind of getting off the track there. But anyway, it's very important that we support,
Yeah, yeah,
others
mommy.
in.
Yes, before we draw the curtain, please, what will you tell the world about this platform, Chinedu and HTV, the African Voice in Diaspora?
All I can tell you is that God has blessed me by meeting this man and his lovely wife. And Chinedu Anichi TV is reaching so many people through so many different platforms, and is even, I mean, for myself especially, bringing to my attention things that I am blissfully ignorant about, that I really don't want to be blissfully ignorant about. And I appreciate that. I appreciate this man. I appreciate Chinedu Anichi TV, and support this if you believe in having your voice heard and understood, and you will be blessed.
Yeah, thank you, mommy. Thank you for coming to the show. And just impromptu, you heard the topic we're discussing, and I brought you up. Thank you. Thank you. And God bless you again.
Thank you. I'm going to go back and play Uno with the kids.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah, my people, I just spoke with Lisa K. Hopper. Lisa K. Hopper is a lady, an American woman, that has a lot of investment in Africa, of our kids, a lot of support for African kids who are vulnerable in one, maybe education-wise or the other. And I think even the blind school in Ghana and Sierra Leone and one other country, I think, is taking care of a lot of kids in Africa. So she just saw this topic and it was concerned, and you heard from her. So when we are doing certain things we are doing, we don't know the extent it can go. And also, you can see Chinedu Anichi TV, African Voice in Diaspora, goes places and gets reaction from different people. So I think I saw somebody I was supposed to be talking to. Trade with style, trade with style, trade with style. How are you doing? I wish you can get to us now. Trade with style, can we bring you up? If we can bring you up, Trade with style, to say one or two things on this show, we'll be very happy. Orachi, you are there. Wisdom Jamia, you are there. Anonymous, August, you are there. Galazi, Ayamagi, any of you that have interest, I can bring you up. I can send you. Okay, let me drop the link here. You can use the link to join if you don't mind. Yeah. If you're finding it difficult, I've always had a phone number here. Let me add my phone number to what we so that some of you can look at the phone number. Just send me a DM on WhatsApp and you get the link. If you cannot access it by the link that I've posted here. Happy Boy and others, how are you doing? Chukwemeka Batra, thank you for being on the show. Let me add just a moment. Let me add.
Let's talk about talk. African Voice in Diaspora. Chinedu Anichi TV. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Chinedu Anichi TV. Make we talk our talk, yo. Chinedu Anichi TV. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Chinedu Anichi TV. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinedu Anichi TV. Now they happen, no. Now they selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even know the YouTube. Subscribe and follow Chinedu Anichi TV. Eba fukona potuno, eba fukona me. Now we'll be the voice of Africa in diaspora. Chinedu Anichi TV. Voice of Africa, where they show. Chinedu Anichi TV. Now where we go there. Chinedu Anichi TV. Gather your family, call everybody, yo. Chinedu Anichi TV. Risi wodo wenu gwebulegu.
Yes, so you can see the number attached to, go to this, on the screen now, you can see +1 701 989 1910. That's the number you can contact. If you want to call in, you can call in. If you want to send me a message, you can send me a message. Just say, hi, I want to contribute on the show, and I'll send you a link that will bring you into the show. And let's see if I told you. I think for those of you who didn't come on time, I want to bring back the very dark man, and you hear from him. You hear from him clearly what has transpired. So the latest over the missing money. You understand? The latest over the missing money. That's what we're talking about.
All right. So first of all, I really want to say thank you to all the people that have called to reach out to me since this thing happened. Even some people that I did not think would call to check up, they've called to check up. So I really want to say thank you. And also I want to thank God for the progress so far. We have been able to recover 78 million, even though the suspects pointed that the person that I did it with has run to Ghana. So hopefully we'll be going to Ghana very soon. And when they did an analysis on the website, this is what we found. Top threat countries and region, because there have been threats from different places that we did not even notice. So these are countries and region. The total amount of threats on the NVOI website was 614. 614 from the US, Nigeria 58, Moldova 4, Singapore 3, and Israel 3. This is the chart of everything, and also this is the full analysis and the key findings. So cyber attack reports on MVOI. Since launching the MVOI website, we have identified 682 cyber attacks, targeting its functionality and security. Below are the key insights from our analysis and action taken to ensure your safety. Key findings: highest attack activities. The most intense attack occurred on December 17th, with 590 attempts originating from an IP address in the United States, potentially marked by a VPN. Other attacking locations: IP involved in the attacks were also traced to Israel, Nigeria, Singapore, and Moldova. Attack objective: disrupting the service, attempting to cause chaos or dissatisfaction by undermining the website functionally. Number 2, unauthorized access to financial data, trying to exploit vulnerabilities to access sensitive banking credentials and redirect funds. Number 3, denial to service, overloading server resources to disrupt access to the site. So where they were sending viruses to disrupt everything. So these are the analysis so far. So I guess one of them just it was one of them that worked, but 78 million naira have been recovered, and the team and I will be going to Ghana to follow the lead. Now, this wasn't just a straight attack. It was a, I don't know how to even put it. I would say it's part of an inside job, because it's somebody from within the team that pointed out these people, and I don't know, but hopefully we'll get to expose the people behind everything. So far, I haven't even been able to sleep since for like 2 days. But yeah, thank you guys very much, and thank you all that have called me. God bless you. Thank you.
Okay, so you are afraid again. So I'm giving you opportunity for those of you who did not start with us when I displayed this video, for you to know that coming direct from a video, so you can see that coming directly, from VDM, we can now say exactly that 78 million naira recovered. So and this goes a long way to, to falsify the claim by some bloggers that this is a prank. I don't understand why VDM should be pranking Nigerians over an NGO money. So, but with what he's saying now, a lot of people are still going for that to argue that they want to see the person who was arrested, want the video. And I also read in somewhere that says the video will soon come. Once all those will continue to update you on those kind of development. Once it comes, Chinedu Anichi TV is ready to come and update you on the developments on this and other developments. So we'll be back to back any moment from now. Told you we're going into the new year with a new dimension. You can see this is not the way we started before, but we have improved. So we have invested, and there's a manifestation of, let's say, positive manifestation of the impact of our investment on the TV. So we'll be bringing news for you, bringing trending things for you, we'll bring in a lot of things, and we'll continue to get ready anytime, any day to contribute, to come to the show, to create your own criticism or make your own suggestion or contribution to whatever we're doing. So this is a live show, and we'll give people opportunity to call in. We'll give people opportunity to come to the studio and say one or two things they would like to contribute. So I am Agui Chinedu Anichi TV. Agui, how are you doing? Thank you, Agui, for coming. Thank you, Agui. I so much respect you. Thank you. Greatness, Masha, how are you? Rockstar too. Then, so those of you who followed us from the beginning, I have explained about how VDM as an activist, the very dark person, Vincent is his name, from Edo State, about an activist in Nigeria, popularly known as VDM. He came up with an idea of an NGO to help vulnerable Nigerian kids to study in a conducive environment. And people donated massively from all over the country and even outside the country. People like the most outstanding donation that was mind-blowing in that process, in that project, was the one that Don Jazzy did. Don Jazzy donated 100 million naira to that particular project, and people were so happy. And eventually, a few days ago, there was a cyber attack, allegedly a cyber attack on the website of that particular NGO, and 160 or 180, I don't know the particular figure because there are two different reports on the figure. So some said 180, some said 160 out of the 80, out of the 180 then was moved. The fund was moved from the website to unknown destination, but swiftly investigators and professionals, when it comes to tracking, they have been on the prowl, and allegedly were able to arrest one person. And the other day, VDM told us they were on their way, just like he said in the video that he has not slept. They were on the way to Jos to arrest another person, but from the latest report, they say somebody has moved to Ghana and are preparing to go to Ghana. So we are still waiting for video evidence of this claim, bank evidence of this claim, and other things that people have been asking for. And as they are coming, I will bring it back to you people. You'll be the first to know. Yeah, first to know in Africa. On Chinedu Aniche TV, always check up. You'll be the first to know. So thank you, my people, for finding time to be with us today. So anytime, any day, any trending issue comes, you will see us. So put on your notification button. Put on your notification button that once we're online, and those of you who will be watching this offline, remember, say no to financial fraud. Say no to scam, and always embrace support for things that is genuine. That's what we preach. So God bless you, and God bless you again. We'll be rounding off. Those of you on Facebook, those on Twitter, those on X, those on YouTube, those on those of you on TikTok, yes, and the Instagram people. Thank you for having me in the show. I will play our jingle again, and finally, we might be closing for the day.
Let's talk our talk. Africa boys in diaspora. Chinedu Aniche TV. Voice of the voiceless, yo. Chinedu Aniche TV. Make we talk our talk, yo. Chinedu Aniche TV. Nobody can talk our talk for us, yo. Chinedu Aniche TV. Africa's a rise. Time don't reach, yo. Make we talk our talk, oh. Oh yeah, everybody join the Chinedu Aniche TV. Now they happen, no. Now they selenge. We don't talk our mind, yo. As it be now, so we don't talk more. Mama, papa, brother, sister, even know the YouTube. Subscribe and follow Chinedu Aniche TV. Eba fukona botuno, eba fukona man. Now we'll be the voice of Africa in diaspora. Chinedu Aniche TV. Voice of Africa, where they show. Chinedu Aniche TV. Now where we go there. Chinedu Aniche TV. Gather your family, call everybody, yo. Chinedu Aniche TV. Prison what don't want to go.
Yeah, thank you. I just wanted to look at my TikTok base and see what is going on the TikTok side. Because I can't access my TikTok, the reaction from the monitor. I don't know what's going on. So I know it's live there, but their reactions are not, I'm not seeing it here. I can see those in X, I can see other ones, but I can't see TikTok, people on TikTok. So I want to see. Um, okay.